to the 23rd Annual Spring Arbor University Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My name is Ryan Cottingham. I'm the Director of Athletics and head men's basketball coach, and it is an honor for me to be in front of you today. I move a lot. I'm wired differently, and to stand behind the podium and the way it's working out, I'm going to be walking around a little bit. I may need some help, and so I will call on the First Lady, Christy Ellis, if I get myself in any trouble, so I appreciate that. This evening we are celebrating the achievements of three special individuals who have been selected to receive our highest athletic honor. And to kick off tonight, we're actually starting something new, a new tradition tonight. And actually, it was Coach Deb Thompson who brought this to us. They did it at the softball coaches convention, and we really liked it. Our committee said, our Hall of Fame committee said, let's do it. And what we're going to do, we're going to start with, it's called our Walk of Honor. And we're going to start by introducing our past Hall of Fame members that are in attendance tonight. And they're going to walk down through here. They're going to line up here in front. And then we'll introduce our three inductees last. And they'll have an opportunity to walk through and shake hands with each of our current members. And then we'll proceed from there. But what a great way to kick off a really, really special night. If you could just hold your applause until the end, I would greatly appreciate it. The very first class, 1996, in the coaching category, Kay Dunkel. Come on up, Kay. We're going to hold our applause, President Ellis. Thank you. Come on up, Kay. The class of 1997, with the meritorious Homer Jackson. From the class of 1998, in the coaching category, Sam Riggleman. The class of 1999, in the coaching category, Ted Comden. The class of 1999, meritorious Bob Delmar. The class of 2002, for softball, Deb Thompson. For the class of 2012, for basketball, Gordy Holton. For the class of 2014, for the meritorious category, Willis Kilburn. For the class of 2017, women's soccer, Amy Douglas Lasansky. From the class of 2018, the coaching category, Bill Bippus. From the class of 2019, our first inductee for this evening, from women's soccer, Randi Siedzik Greenslade. The class of 2019, cross country and track and field, Herbert Rotich. And our third and final inductee for this evening, from our baseball team, Jesse Bachman. We can clap now. Go ahead and have a seat. Let's give them one more hand of applause while they make their way to the seat. That's a good looking group right there. No better than F. Homer Jackson. What a pleasure, Homer. I always love to be in your presence. Tonight we are honoring Randi, Herbert, and Jesse. And to you three, I just want to say thank you for the many sacrifices you made to master your craft. You reached the pinnacle of your sport. I also want to thank you for who you are and for the way you represented Spring Arbor as student athletes and the way you continue to represent Spring Arbor University. At this time, I want to acknowledge a few other people that are in attendance. I'm not going to ask you to stand, but if you'd simply lift your hand. I want to start by recognizing our Hall of Fame committee. And I actually had a question. I said, well, how does somebody get into the Hall of Fame? Well, they need to be nominated. You can nominate through the SAUcougars.com. You can contact Lori Cornell in the athletic office. We are always looking for additional nominations, and then we have a committee that goes through the process and determines who will be up for induction. And so our Hall of Fame committee members, so grateful for each of you. Ted Condon, simply raise your hand. Ted Condon, Bob Delamarter, and I just want to say, Bob, it's actually Bob's parents, and I always like to acknowledge this, that really provided the initial seed money to kick off the Hall of Fame, and we're truly grateful for that. So Bob, thank you for that. Kay Dunkel, Matt Ginn, Blake Glass, Darlene Mefford, Matt Potter, Deb Thompson, and we lost a member on December 7th. Nick Smith went home to be with our Lord and Savior. And I want to just take a couple of seconds and have a moment of silence for Nick, an alum, and we just so appreciate him. So if you don't mind, join me for a moment of silence for Nick Smith. Thank you. I want to just recognize our coaching staff. Again, if you would just raise your hand, our current coaches. Ryan Markin, our baseball coach. Rebecca, thank you, Ryan. Ryan Frost, women's basketball. Jeremy Smith, Director of Cross Country, Track and Field. Brian Burke, Women's Cross Country Assistant Track Coach. Erica Vogel, Assistant Track Coach. Thank you, Erica. Jason Christ, Women's Soccer. Deb Thompson, Softball. David Darling, Tennis. Where are you at, David? Lori, make a note of that, please. Betsy Martinez, Volleyball. Chris Bauman, our Sports Information Director. And last but certainly not least, the glue, the key that makes our whole athletic department go. Lori, thank you so much for all your work in making this happen. Lori Cornell, our athletic administrative assistant. Let's give them a big round of applause. I want our current student athletes to please stand. I know we have some baseball guys and some soccer and some track. Would all of you please, I'm going to make you stand because I can, the others I can, but you athletes, would you please stand? Because I think this is a really important night. As we connect the past to the present and moving forward with the future. What an opportunity for you to be a part of this. And I just want to say thank you to you young ladies. I want to say thank you to you gentlemen for the sacrifices that you've made and you're continuing to make, and for the way that you're representing Spring Arbor. What an honor and a privilege it is for us to have you here. But also I think it's a tremendous honor and privilege and responsibility that you have going forward as you represent all of these people in this room. So you're not just here tonight to fill space. You're here because you play such an important, integral part of who we are today, who we are tomorrow. So thank you for being here today. Can we just say thank you to our current student athletes? At this time, I want to invite President Brent Ellis to share a few remarks, and then following President Ellis, Mallory Henderlong, a junior health and exercise science major from Crown Point, Indiana, and a member of our women's soccer team will offer the invocation. Thank you, President.
Thank you, Coach. And I don't know if you have heard about the men's basketball team this year thus far. They won their 21st game, 21-3. Best start since, when is that, Coach? A long time, so congratulations. We also have another achievement on our women's basketball side. Rachel Nelson scored her 1,000th point 2 games ago, and so that's another wonderful achievement for one of our athletes. I'm excited about tonight. And the reason why I look forward to these evenings, and part of it's because of the people that we're inducting. You know, Randi, the work that you've done in this community to invest in young ladies and to help them develop and grow, has been absolutely tremendous. Herbert and his investment in, I don't know if many of you know this, but one of the most difficult jobs, I think, at a university, outside of athletic director and men's basketball coach, is director of financial aid. The complexity, the difficulty in understanding all of the federal guidelines and regulations, and the way that Herbert has walked into that has been absolutely tremendous. The chance that I had today to get to actually put a face with the name of Jesse, I've heard all about just how dominant you were on the mound. And if you know anything about I'm an old runner. It's hard to tell this, but I'm a baseball fanatic and nut. And hearing the stories about the way that you would attack and go after a game and pitch and control that game and dictate what took place in the game. I've heard stories about you, but to be able to meet you tonight is a significant thing. And the thing that I celebrate, though, the achievements, and I don't know if you guys, so Herbert, I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here for a second. And there's danger always when you give me the microphone. I was a runner, all right? I was a runner, and I was a decent runner. I was a pretty good runner. I went to a school called Greenville College, and I had some NAIA recognitions. I had some school records when I was there. And so I remember coming, and the first time I met Herbert, and I said, so tell me, what kind of time, sometimes old runners are like, I want to measure you up, see how good you really were, Herbert. And so I said, tell me, so what'd you run your 1500? And he ran a 3:49. 3:49. And so my best time ever, and I won probably 95%, 98% of the races I ever ran in college. If I run my best time, he runs his best time. He's standing at the finish line while I'm turning out of the fourth corner of the track. When he said that, I'm like, oh, Herbert, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. But here's the thing that I love. It's not just the athletic achievements that we celebrate. What we celebrate today are the men and the women that have come in and been forged and shaped by the coaching staff, by the players and peers, and are sent out into this world, as our concept statement states, as critical participants in a contemporary world. People who can use their talents, use their passions, use the lessons that they've learned on the pitcher's mound, or running around that oval, or on the soccer pitch. Learn through that to understand how you can go out and make a difference in society and culture for Christ and for His kingdom. And so today we celebrate great achievements athletically, but what we're really celebrating are the lives that can be impacted through an intentionally Christ-centered institution like Spring Arbor University. And so thank you for being here tonight. Thank you to each one of you for allowing us to celebrate you and to honor you and to remember and enshrine you and help tell your story for Spring Arbor University in the future. And thank you for your participation and your support in coming alongside and helping tell those stories as well. We're thankful for your participation. We're thankful for your investment. And Mallory, come on up. Mallory, I can envision a couple years from now, several years from now, another young lady who is making a significant impact within her sport, but also within the character in which she leads. And so, Mallory, open us in prayer.
All right, so for those of you that don't know me, my name is Mallory Penderlong. I'm a junior and member of the women's soccer team here. I came to Spring Arbor in the fall of 2017 after completing my freshman year at Eastern Illinois University. And it sounds super cliche, but since coming to Spring Arbor, my life has drastically changed for the better. Had an instant family and support system, of 40-something girls within my team, my coaches were supportive and pushed me to be the best athlete and young lady I could possibly be. The Spring Arbor community as a whole was the most welcoming community and full of the most loving and selfless individuals I've ever met. And what an honor it is to be part of Spring Arbor University Athletics, as some of our teams are having such successful seasons, such as our men's soccer team who finished in the Sweet 16, our women's volleyball team that had the most successful season in years, and our men's basketball team that's currently excelling in conference play. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be a student and athlete here at Spring Arbor University, where I get to grow deeper in my faith and grow closer to Christ each day. So I'm sure you guys are all ready to eat, so I'm going to go ahead and pray, and then I'll dismiss you through the double doors in the back, and we'll give some more directions after. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for the former and current athletes here today, for the coaches who have put in hours of work to help them excel at their craft, and for the athletic department staff who puts in so much more work behind the scenes. I pray that we can enjoy one another's company today as we honor these great athletes. Please bless this food to our bodies. In your name we pray. Amen. All right, so we'll dismiss like two tables at a time, and you'll just go through the double doors in the back, down the stairs, and someone will be there to guide you through the buffet line. So tables 1 and 2, you guys can go ahead and get started.
The slideshow that's up here, seeing some of these pictures, a younger Coach Compton and Homer Jackson and the rest of the gang takes a lot of work. And that 10-15 minute slide that goes, I know Chris Bachman mentioned earlier, our sports information director, they don't come any better than that, but I think he put well over 40 hours into just creating this slideshow and all the behind the scenes things that he does. And so I just want to recognize Chris. Did he slide out of the room? Where's Chris? Chris, there you go. Come back around the corner. And then one more part of our athletic staff, really important individual, our faculty athletic rep, Miriam Sailors, is just incredible with eligibility, with working with our coaches and athletes. She is an absolute gem, and she loves our athletes, she loves our coaches. I love her, she loves me. She's such a, we're one big happy family. Yeah. So Miriam, thank you so much. Can we just recognize Miriam Sailors? The Hall of Fame designation is intended to recognize exceptional ability and skill, as well as extraordinary achievement and our success in athletics. It is an honor that reflects the accomplishments of a career, and in some cases, a lifetime. It is the highest athletic honor bestowed on an individual at Spring Arbor University. Tonight, we celebrate 3 special individuals. Tonight is their night. Now, as I get ready to turn this mic over, so last week I had lunch at Buffalo Wild Wings. And when you go for lunch, you get a special. Once they take your order, they put a timer on your table. And if they don't have your meal out within that 15-minute time limit, you get your next meal free. Now, I just bring that up because as our presenters are coming up to introduce our inductees, I want to just remind our presenters of their time limit. Now, I'm not worried about our first or last presenter. And I'm not going to use names, but I just want to make sure that we are sensitive to the time that we have. And so, without any further ado, I would just like to ask Jason Chris to come up and introduce our first inductee. Jason.
So I suspect that same timer was applied to you when we hand you a microphone. There could be problems. One of the things that I think is really neat, and it's what I've enjoyed today, is, like was mentioned earlier, the bridging of the past with the present. So being able to see, former players come back and that I haven't seen in a long time is really special. That's really cool. the opportunity to sit kind of right next to current players and connect, and just kind of how things build and how legacies are built. It's a really neat piece. For my players, you'll know that things don't change. The girls that did not get to play on the beautiful field that you play on, have the beautiful clubhouse that you have. They were back in the days of, the dirt field and where when it was bad. They came to visit today and they looked at the clubhouse and they were like, oh my gosh. I was like, you guys had this? And I said, no, we didn't have that. Before they left, they found a box of gear that was sitting in the corner. And they started rifling through it. Can I have this, coach? Can I take that? So things don't change. Current players, past players, they're all the same. They just want to play. All of them. All right, so I'll try to be quick but thorough. I kind of wrote my thoughts out, but if I deviate, just throw something at me, Ryan. Every story has a beginning. 19 years ago, I was a young coach working to turn around a struggling women's soccer program. I was 26, had limited experience, and didn't know what I didn't know. I was heading into year 2, and I knew one thing was for certain: we needed better players. I was recruiting in the suburbs of North Detroit, and I was at a match to watch a player named Becky Meyer. I was very impressed with the level of Becky and her entire team. After the match, I spoke with Becky and then with her coach. I got the "you're from Spring Arbor? Where is that?" type of response, and most of you guys that have coached here have had that before, right? The question, where is Spring Arbor? After explaining that we were Spring Arbor, taking a little bit of time to talk about the university, the coach stopped me mid-sentence and said, "Oh, you're a Christian school. That's the player you want over there." And he pointed right at a 5'3", 300-pound Randy. Now, I'll tell you, Becky Meyer was 5'9" and about 145 pounds of pure muscle. And she was everything I thought I wanted in a player. She was big, she was strong, she was fast. And I was walking across the field to introduce myself to Randy and her parents. I remember noticing Randy playing in the back during the game. I thought she had pretty good quickness, and I was pretty sure she could help us. So fast forward through the recruiting process, the end, where Jim's here, right? Randy's dad, Jim, pulls me into a dark room, shines a bright light on my face, like the mafia man that he is, and he says, "If my daughter comes here, you're not leaving for the 4 years that she's here." And I was scared to death. And so I said, "Yes, sir, no problem, I'll be here," and kind of the rest is history. I had no idea what I'd done at the time, but if I go back and talk to my younger self, I would give that guy a hug because I had kind of hit the recruiting lottery at that point. Siena Heights got Becky Meyer, but we got Randi Greenslade, and she was the cornerstone on which our program has been built. Randi turned out to be a fantastic player. She has all the accolades to prove that. She was tough as nails, wanted to win more than anyone else on the field, had the athletic ability and skill to turn our program from a sub-500 team the year that I took over to a national contender by the time she was a senior. Randi played in the defense, she played in the midfield. When we needed goals, she played up top. For the first year, she plugged holes all over the field. In her freshman year, the team turned the tide and began winning. There were lots of firsts. One I can distinctly remember was the first time we beat a nationally ranked team. We had brought Randi, we were at St. Francis in Indiana. We had brought Randi up in overtime, brought her up on a corner kick. And obviously, I'm a great coach, so I know that our 5'3" players belong up front on corner kicks because those are the best players in the game. So we brought her up on the corner kick. She'd been playing in the back, and she punched home the match-winning goal. And then to this day, she holds the record for the best celebration of a goal ever. Overcome with emotion, like just starts sprinting wildly around the field, and the whole team's chasing her, but no one can catch her. Like they're trying to run her down and mob her, and they can't get within 15 yards of her. So something that I'll always remember. There were lots of special moments. I could use my whole time to talk about Randi the player. Her abilities would definitely warrant that. But what's most special about Randi are her personal qualities. She would probably tell you that I taught her a lot about soccer. But I'm here today to tell you that coaching Randi Greenslade taught me the most important details that as a coach set the trajectory for both my career and for the success that our program is still experiencing today. Randi taught me that culture is more important than talent, and that when people feel valued, they will make incredible sacrifices for the greater good. Randi taught me that work rate is non-negotiable in championship culture, and that when your best players are your hardest workers, that's when the magic happens. Coaching Randi taught me that accountability is an act of love on a team, and games, conference titles, and even national championships could be won when you are totally outgunned if every member of the group was bought in and the team was centered around the love for each other and the love for Jesus Christ. Now, Randy might not have realized that she was teaching me these things at that point. I was young and naive, and I certainly wasn't going to tell her. But since I had you captive in front of all of these people, I want to thank you for the impact that you had personally on me as a coach and as a leader, and the impact that you've had on our program. It is long-lasting. For 4 years, Randy epitomized servant leadership. She was our #1 weapon in recruiting. And through my experience with her, I developed the network style of recruiting that we still use today. A style based on relationships rather than money, people rather than resources. To this day, I swear, Randy housed every single recruit that we had in 4 years. Every single one. Good player, Randy's room. You know, they would stay with Randy. She was happy and eager to do it. She wanted nothing more than to see the team succeed, and played a huge role in signing Amy Douglas, who's here tonight, who was our inaugural member of the Hall of Fame. Randy's attitude is contagious. Players were eager to buy what she was selling, and frankly, I was barely smart enough to watch and take lessons. Nearly every core value that our current teams are built on, including our 2 recent national championship teams, can be traced back to the values that Randy helped instill in our program all those years ago. And it's nearly impossible for me to think about the success we've had without Randy coming almost immediately to the front of my mind. It's a true legacy that she's left behind. In the years that followed her graduation, Randy continued to impact the program in every way that she could. She's been an assistant coach. I love sharing the sidelines with her. She's been a program donor, a cheerleader, a fan, a friend. I'm so honored to still have her involved with the program to this day, working with our reserve team. She continues to infect the young players with the qualities that they need to be successful players, Christ followers, and people with her example. I was told I only had 3 minutes. I don't know if I'm close. I'm not sure how you sum up 20 years of impact in 3 minutes. Thank you, Randy, for your lifelong impact on this program and on me personally. Please help me welcome and congratulate my friend, assistant, former All-American, and the godmother of Spring Arbor University Women's Soccer, Randy Greenslade.
It is an honor to be introduced into the Hall of Fame with both of you tonight. I would also like to share, because we've already figured out, if I get through without crying tonight, it'll be a miracle. I would like to first thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. God has blessed me with some pretty amazing people in my life who have helped me develop my soccer talent and made me who I am today. Honestly, this is an understatement. These people mean the world to me. And I cannot thank them enough for impacting my life in so many ways. Without these individuals, I would not be standing here tonight. I feel so blessed to be honored tonight and to be able to share with these people that have impacted my life in so many ways. I would like to start with my parents. I love my parents more than they will ever know. They have blessed me with so many incredible memories around the game of soccer. Our family has traveled all over the world to play soccer. Growing up, our family vacations were planned around soccer tournaments of my siblings and me. Thank you for driving us all over the country to play a game I love so much. Thank you for sacrificing everything. You sacrificed your time, money, energy, all for me to play soccer. But the most important thing I want to thank you for is for instilling in me the importance of being in church every week and knowing Jesus Christ. If we were not in church on Sunday, we were there Monday. It was a priority in our home growing up. You taught me soccer can be important, but God has to be first. I have no doubt that this had a direct correlation later in life when choosing a university. Thank you for instilling in me an excellent work ethic. For as long as I can remember, you have told me I can do anything I want with hard work, and I still believe that today. Mom, thank you for teaching me to fight for what I want. Mom, thanks for teaching me to fight for what I want. I have never been one to back down. I am as stubborn just like you. And that mentality got me through a lot of summer workouts.
Thank you for always riding your bike all summer while I ran and going to the track with me to time my 50-yard sprint repeats. Thank you for all your encouraging words and telling me I could do it. You are my cheerleader in life. Dad, thank you for all the countless hours we spent at the field, playing 1v1, building soccer goals, painting fields. The time spent together will always be engraved in my heart. Thank you for working so hard for me to be able to go to Spring Arbor. Thank you, and I love you both for introducing me to the game of soccer and for being great examples of God-loving people. I could not have done this all without you both. Coach, where do I start? And I'm going to share the same story too. But we'll start at the beginning. My goal after high school was to play soccer in college, out of state. I wanted to go anywhere but in Michigan. But I think my dad knew better. My dad probably wrote 100 plus colleges for me. They were all over the country, and they were all out of state. As the coaches started to contact me, my dad drove me to New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and after about the 4th trip in a car for 8 hours, I was like, we gotta live closer to home. But he never told me that I had to go where I had to go. He let me choose and figure it all out for myself. Spring Arbor was not on my list of schools to look at. Coach happened to be at one of the games recruiting a friend of mine, and I can remember that moment like it was yesterday. Coach was standing at the 50-yard line, and my coach took me over by the shoulders and walked me over to him and said, "This one will be perfect for your program." Little did I know how much Coach was going to impact my life. When Coach would call, he'd always call and ask, "How is your family? How was school? How was life going?" The last thing he ever asked me about was soccer and what school I was going to choose. He cared about me, not just my soccer abilities, and that meant the whole world to me. I visited Spring Arbor and fell in love with the soccer program, the school, and how much everyone loved God. I felt like I was at home when I visited Spring Arbor. Coach, for 4 years, you pushed me out of my comfort zone. You made me a better person. And when I was a sophomore, you made me a captain, and you told me it wasn't going to be easy, but if I led by example, everyone would follow suit. And that's what I did. I gave everything I had for our team. I bought into your mindset of leaving everything on the field, being the hardest worker I could be, and putting the team above myself. Thank you for setting the highest standards possible and pushing me to reach it. Today, I'm standing here today because of your dedication to the soccer program, and more importantly, your dedication to the players. You are more than just a coach to me, you are my friend, a mentor of life. I am so grateful to have been coached by you and to have worked alongside you as an assistant. I am truly blessed to have come through this program and now to be a part of it still. Coach, you make this program one of a kind, and thank you for sharing it with me. Thank you for making my coaching career so much fun. Thank you for teaching me you can be competitive and have fun at the same time. Thank you for putting up with all our shenanigans and for always looking out for me. Thank you for driving me to the doctor's appointments when I was injured, changing my flat tires on my truck. Thank you for doing all the little things that no one else sees, like taking the time to take the team for ice cream, pizza, doing scavenger hunts at Easter, Christmas parties, and for always making sure life was going good. I cannot thank you enough for all you have taught me about life. Every day I apply something I have learned on the soccer field, and I am grateful for that. Coach Dean, Coach Ben, thank you both for making me laugh so much. You guys always lighten the mood, and we're always coming up with something fun for us. Thank you for teaching me it's okay not to be serious all the time. Those of you that know me know I'm kind of an all business kind of person all the time. Last, my teammates, I could not have done this without you. We found fun in everything we did together. When on campus, if there was one of us, there was 5 of us. We did everything together. For a few years, there was 11 of us, all living on Delta 2. Thank you for pushing me every day. Thank you for supporting me on the field and in life. Thank you for setting the bar as high as I did. I will never forget all the fun things we did while playing soccer. Some of my favorite memories were made with all of you. I will never forget singing Oh Happy Day at the top of our lungs in the Siena Heights locker room before a game, or chipping at Frito-Lay. Preseason in Traverse City was the best of all. That is when we all became so close. We played Do You Love Your Neighbor, showered in the lake, and squished in the cabin for sleeping. It still makes me laugh to think about all the fun times we had. Now the mile hill we had to run after 3 miles, I don't miss that. Thank you for understanding when I had to check curfew, and when I had to tell Clem for missing, and when we all had to run 1,000,000 stairs while Clem sat at the top and watched. Hey Jake, thanks for teaching me how to study the Bible and for proofreading all my 2-page papers. Accounting major. You really challenged me to grow in God's Word, and I'm grateful for our friendship. Amy, thank you for always being a great teammate, captain, and roommate. You were my partner in crime on and off the field. Thank you for always being there for me. You all have a special place in my heart. Thank you guys for being the best teammates I could ever have. I am forever grateful for each of you. To all of you, thank you for being part of my soccer career. I have been so blessed. You have each played an important part in my soccer career and in my life, and I am honored to be here tonight, and I am so thankful for all my years at Spring Arbor, playing soccer and glorifying God. Thanks, I love SAU.
On behalf of Spring Arbor University and the Board of Trustees, I'm pleased to induct Randi Greenslade into the SAU Athletic Hall of Fame. Coach Pippis, if you'd come up, please.
Wow. Good stuff. I'll put this here. It's not like using your hand. So when you teach middle school science, you have to use your hands. You've been interested, you lose them within 2 minutes. So I'm used to doing this kind of stuff all the time. So I need to use my hands. Congratulations, amazing stuff right there. We had to follow that. Wow. Okay. Good stuff. That was very good. I want to piggyback off what Jason said. Coming to this stuff tonight, it's like a homecoming, seeing all the former athletes, just connecting. It's an amazing experience. For me, I started at this school when I was 4. So I've been here a while, and I love this place, and just coming back here is truly a homecoming for me. So praise God for that, this opportunity. Oh well, we'll try it. If you can't hear me, I'll just go to my teacher voice. All right, what an amazing night this is. I have an opportunity to introduce to you Herbert Rotich. Okay, I'll calm her down. Tonight, I want to take a moment and present an argument to all of you about Herbert being a remarkable individual. Webster defines the word remarkable as a person who challenges and inspires. One who shows what is possible when talent meets discipline. A person who leaves a deep and lasting impression. One who challenges and inspires. Wow. One who shows what is possible when talent meets discipline. One who leaves a deep and lasting impression. Boom, right there, Herbert Rotich. I could be done after just simply saying that. Because that's reality. That's who he is. Boom. However, we're going to go deeper. One who challenges and inspires. Herbert is a humble leader. I've been with Herbert many times and people didn't know what he accomplished. I've walked on this campus with him as he works in the department he works in. Talk to me again, hold on. Yes, financial aid department, I'm sorry. I'm going off cue right now, so what's going on? All right? Because he's humble. There are literally people that had no idea that he had accomplished what he had accomplished. He leads by example. He's shown us every day of practice what it means to work hard. Talent meets discipline. Herbert expected great things from himself. He never made excuses. He was meticulous in his preparation. Leaves a lasting impression, my favorite part, a lasting impression. Herbert embodies a life filled with Christian character and values. He has a true spirit of joy. Steve Allison, one of Coach Herbert's former coaches, said this about him. Herbert always had the same demeanor. He was easygoing even when the stakes were at their highest. He had confidence that he was well prepared. It was going to either happen or not. He was going to give it his best effort, and the chips were going to fall where they may. This confidence came from a strong faith. He controlled what he could, and he gave the rest to God. That's powerful. That's what Herbert did for our program. He gave it all to God, and he just gave us 100%. I'm going to share a small glimpse into Herbert's legendary career. He was an 11-time NAIA All-American, 11 times. It's a university record. He was a 4-time national champion. He was a Drake Relays champion, one of only 4 people in the history of this university to accomplish such a feat. He was a 3-time national runner-up. He currently holds 7 Spring Arbor University track records. He's on our top 10 list for 12 different events. He was a 3-time conference MVP. He was ranked on the USA Track and Field World Top 25 ranking. For the 1,000 meters, he was ranked 12th in the world indoors. As a member of the 4x800 meter relay team, their group was ranked 17th indoors in the world and 23rd outdoors. And I got the pleasure to stand on the sidelines and watch all of this. It was quite fun. He led our men's team to 2 fourth-place team finishes at the NAIA Indoor National Championships. He helped lead our men's cross-country team to their first and currently only Crossroad Conference team championship. He helped our men's cross-country team qualify for NAIA Nationals and finished 22nd in 2005 for cross-country. And he has currently run the 3rd fastest 8K in school history with a time of 24:30. This is just a small fraction of what he accomplished, but because Ryan told me I couldn't go any farther, I'm going to stop it there. Jason Kuhn, one of Herbert's teammates, says about his accomplishments. Herbert was always capable of great individual performances, and he had many of them. However, it was his willingness to let those performances possibly suffer if it meant giving everything he had to elevate a relay and his teammates' success. Herbert would rather celebrate team accomplishments than his own. As a member of that team, many times we called on him after he was exhausted, and I need you to anchor this relay. I need you to do this. And instantly he stepped up because he was all about our team, and I appreciated him for it. So I'm going to tell a story tonight. And I believe this story encompasses the traits of one who is a remarkable individual. Choosing the story was not easy. For you see, I could have told many different stories from Herbert's remarkable career. I could have chosen to tell the story that as a freshman, while competing at the NAIA National Indoor Track and Field Championships, he won 2 events, placed 2nd in a 3rd, all while running a total of 5 events over 3 days, including the semifinal round. Or I could have told you the amazing story of Drake Relays and how the announcer could not figure out where Spring Arbor University was from as we're winning the race. And you literally hear him going, hey. That was fun. I could have told you the story of how he raced the 1,500 meters at the University of Michigan against 4 people who went on to run in the Olympics for their different countries. And one even won a silver medal. However, the story I chose to share is one that he did not win. In fact, he didn't even finish the race. However, that specific race demonstrated to both our teammates and coaches what true remarkable character was all about. We were at the NAI National Cross Country Championships. It was his freshman year. During that cross country season, Herbert had not lost a meet. And he went into the race ranked as one of the top 7 individuals and had a legitimate opportunity to be the national champion. As the race unfolded, Herbert and a group of 5 other runners went through the 4-mile mark at a pace that was 30 seconds faster. He had run his life. He looked good, but he was tired. With 800 meters to go, the group had faded to 4, Herbert and 3 other athletes. He was laboring with the new pace that they had set, but he was mentally tough and he would not surrender. The group only had 2 more major hills to ascend and then a short, quick 200-meter sprint to the finish. As they went up the first hill, another athlete fell off pace, and now the group was down to 3. Our coaches, his brother, and a handful of athletes, including myself, were at top speed to try to position ourselves close to the finish line so we could cheer him on. Granted, our speed was not his speed, but we were at top speed. The remaining 3 athletes ducked around the clump of pine trees, sprinted up the hill, and were out of sight for a few seconds. I was standing in the clearing thinking to myself, wow, he has a chance. I had never seen Herbert get out-kicked. So I believed. I was confident. One runner darted from the trees. No, not Herbert. Then 5 seconds later, another runner darted. Again, not Herbert. And then 10 seconds later, this guy had fallen off the pace, goes by, and it wasn't Herbert. What is going on? I'm panicked. And I saw him being carried by his brother and 2 other athletes off the course through the pine trees. For you see, Herbert ran into exhaustion. He had collapsed 230 meters from the finish line. Yes, Herbert could have easily backed off the pace and run to be in the top 3 or 4. But as I stated before, Herbert expected greatness from himself. No excuses. He ran to win the race, not just to finish. He risked everything that day. He had nothing left. He had spent it all. His body could go no more, and it collapsed. He taught us all a valuable lesson that day. What a remarkable moment. Herbert is and has always been a person of great integrity, one who lives to honor God. He has always put his family before himself. It's my great privilege and honor to introduce Herbert Rotich as one of Spring Arbor's newest Athletics Hall of Fame inductees. I love you, my friend.
Thank you, Coach. What an honor it is for me to be presented here tonight by a man that means so much to me. I have come to cherish our relationship. It was so valuable to me. It was so valuable for me as an athlete to be coached by someone who had so much love and passion, desire, and dedication for the sport of track and field and cross country. Coach, you've touched so many student lives, but not like mine. It would be impossible for me to count all the ways that you've helped me in my career. Thank you for believing and trusting in my abilities. Your motivation, prayers, and your confidence in me allowed me to do my best. No words can describe what you and Julie have meant not only to me, but to my fellow brothers and sisters from Kenya. Julie, thank you for allowing and supporting Coach to pursue his passion. Thank you for always being the biggest cheerleader for our team. I want to start out tonight by congratulating this year's Hall of Fame inductees, Randi and Siedzik, for a well-deserved award. I would like to first thank my wife for all that you have done for me and my family. Thank you for all the trips that you made to track and cross-country meets. Cheer me up. My siblings were so far away, but you filled in the gap. Thank you for encouraging your fellow students to come and cheer us on. I love you and you look great tonight. As I stand here tonight, I'm deeply humbled to be in the presence of all these amazing people who have made such a tremendous impact in my life. I didn't get to where I am today without the prayers and support of everyone here and many people who were not able to be here tonight. I wish I could thank all of you individually, but my time is limited. I would like to thank a few individuals who played a part in my journey. I would like to ask my family from Iowa and Minnesota to stand up so that I can recognize them. My family means a lot to me. They made a surprise trip from Minnesota and Iowa to come and celebrate with me tonight. Thanks to my lovely wife, Beth, and my mother and father-in-law, Lori at the athletics office, and whomever else was involved in making this happen. It was a good surprise. Thank you. I know the weather was nasty on your trip to Michigan. There are no words that can express my gratitude to you all. You have all influenced my life in such a positive way. I greatly appreciate your thoughts, efforts, and love. I'm honored, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys, all of you. Thank you. I would like to thank my mom and dad for all they've done for me. My mom is here tonight, but my dad had to go back to Kenya after their summer visit. Growing up with 7 kids was not an easy task. I have 2 kids of my own, and it's challenging at times. I don't know how you did it. Thank you for everything you did for us. You sacrificed your own happiness so that we can have a better future. You worked long days to make sure that the family was okay. Thank you for challenging us to do better and looking beyond our Kenyan borders. I'm forever grateful for everything you did and still do for us. I love you and I appreciate you guys. Although challenging, growing up with 6 siblings was also an incredible opportunity for us to cheer and lift each other up. Through that, it helped us look out for each other, especially after we left Kenya. I will always cherish our loyalty, cooperation, and love for family. I am proud to have you guys in my life, and I love you all with your beautiful families. To my brother Abraham, who is here tonight, you are the first in our family to adventure into a new land. The United States was not in our minds until you landed in Des Moines, Iowa. Thank you for leading the pack and looking back and thinking of your siblings back in Kenya. You did everything you could for us to get a chance to come to school in the United States. And I'm proud to call Spring Arbor University home. I greatly appreciate what you did. I greatly appreciate what you and David did to make it possible, and I thank you. To my brother David, who is not here tonight, he's in Kenya. I never knew what it meant to get used to pain as a runner. Thank you for motivating me whenever I was not excited about practice. I came to know more about my athletic boundaries and pushing past them. You taught me a lot about running, and that when it hurts the most, that's when you give it your best. You always believed in my abilities when I doubted myself. I always wanted to finish each race like you. You were confident and knew the outcome before it even happened. Thank you. For a long time here at Spring Arbor on our track team, there's always this story that when David was here, he was my older brother, and that I was scared to beat him because he was older than me. So for those who thought I let David win because he was my older brother, let me clear any of your doubts tonight. He was that good. I wanted to run under 4 minutes in the mile like he did, but I fell short. David, even though he rightfully deserved to receive 2 MVP awards at NAI Nationals, I still believe that the officials made a mistake because one should have been mine. Nonetheless, you were and still a good brother to me and a great training partner, and I thank you for that. I want to thank my coaches who also played a role in my life here at SAU. To Coach Condon, yes. Thank you for being my first contact when I landed at Detroit Airport in January. As I walked out of the airport, I had never felt something so cold in my body. I thought about getting back on the return to get back to Kenya. Thanks to you and Joanne for all the meals you made during our cross-country camps. I greatly appreciate that. To Coach Jordan, who is here tonight, thank you for helping me hit my training split times during practice. I sometimes believe you ran more than I did, and that's probably why you're still in a better shape than I am today. To Coach Steve Allison, who's also here tonight, I wish I could taste the same about your shape. When I first met met you, I never understood a single word you said. You talk too fast, and I was too accustomed to the British language. If I did too many reps during practice, it's not because I was trying to impress you. I probably didn't understand what you said. I thank you for all the light moments you provided to the team. Typically when we go out to track meets, obviously we go for breakfast. And there was one time that we went to Bob Evans. For some reason in our team, the girls always choose where we were going. The guys never get to choose where we eat. So,
Get ready for life.
so as we were getting ready and ordering breakfast, Steve and I were sitting next to each other, and we decided that, well, this was Steve's idea, that he wanted to pull a prank on the waitress. And so when she came over, she asked what I wanted, and Steve started making clicking sounds. So he made some clicking sounds to me, and I made some clicking sounds back to him. And Steve said that he would like farmer's breakfast. And orange juice. It was fun traveling to track and cross-country meets, especially the drag relays, and pulling a prank on Coach Lippis. We called Coach Lippis and told him that we got pulled over because we were speeding, our vehicle was impounded, and my brother and I have been arrested because we didn't have a driver's license. Coach Lippis almost had a heart attack, before we told him it was a prank. He didn't think it was, but we thought it was funny. To Coach Hayward, who's not here tonight, thank you for all the knowledge you brought to your work as a cross-country coach. Every practice sounded to me like an exercise sports science class. We learned a lot about our body mechanics and what each role of the muscle plays. Thank you for all the strategies you came up with to put us as a team in a position to win. To my teammates who are here tonight, thank you for being so kind to me. I really enjoyed your company, especially during our long trips to track and cross-country meets. Thank you for always challenging me on the track. You made me work even harder. I appreciate your confidence in me, knowing that we would always come home with a win. Jason Kuhn, who is here tonight, thank you for being willing to learn some tribal phrases and using it around my other Kenyan friends. They were always cautious talking around you since they didn't know what else you knew. Coming from Kenya, I didn't know much about running in cold weather. I do wish one of my teammates had told me that running out in the cold in January and using hot water to warm your hands was not the smartest thing. That was painful. Nevertheless, you were the best teammates, and I'll always cherish our time together. Being an international student at Spring Arbor University was sometimes challenging to find a place to stay during holidays, especially during the summer break. Although I appreciate all of you who are here tonight for opening up your homes for me, although they're not here tonight, they're being represented by my sister Laura and her husband Pete Wagner. I would like to thank David and Carolee Hamilton for providing me and my brother places to call home. I have never met a couple I have never met a couple like you who cared so much for students from all walks of life. Your house has always been no judgment zone. We were complete strangers, but you treated us like your own kids. Your home is now famously known as Village H for a reason. You have provided a safe space for kids from all over this country and the world. You are a special family, not just to me and my family, but to all those kids that you have touched their lives. From Kenya, South Sudan, United Kingdom, Brazil, Costa Rica, and other parts of South America and North America. You have done it over and over without bragging or complaining about the number of students that have come through your doors. You're so special to Spring Arbor University, and I pray to God to continue blessing you for all that you do. Thank you. I gave my best to this sport that I love, and everything I had, I laid it out there. I've also tried to live my life in a way that will make the people that I love and care proud of me. I came to this country as a freshman, not knowing too many people. And now, I'm surrounded by so many faces I have come to love. I have so much to be thankful for, especially the people who have surrounded me throughout my time here at Spring Arbor University and beyond. All for that I say, thank God, thank you.
On behalf of Spring Arbor University and the Board of Trustees, I am pleased to induct Herbert Rotich into the SAU Athletic Hall of Fame. I would like to put together a small committee with Herbert, Coach Bippis, Coach Comden, and myself. How do we go to your country and bring more Herbert Rotiches back? Can we take a trip to Kenya? Can we go on a recruiting trip? Would you go with us, Herbert? I think we need to tap into the pipeline that is Kenya, and we need you to lead. So I'm going to volunteer myself to go with us. I want Ted and Billy. Let's make it happen. Let's find a way. Which, by the way, I know in a few short days, Coach Bippis, you have a 49th birthday, I do believe. So 49. All right, very good. So make sure you wish Coach Bippis a happy birthday on the way out. At this time, I'd like to ask Coach Riggleman to come on up. Coach, it's all you.
Coach Cottingham, I just want you to be aware that your administrative assistant never sent me the memo that I had 3 minutes. But I also recognize that Bill Bippis didn't get it either. Either that or he disobeyed you. It is my great pleasure to stand before you this evening and introduce to you one of the newest members of the 2019 SAU Hall of Fame, Jesse Bachman. Little did I know, and the members of my coaching staff, and the players with whom he played, that he would have such an incredible impact on Cougar baseball. And I want to take just a minute. I know that these things were mentioned during halftime today, but I want to highlight a few things for you. But before I do that, I also want to take the time to get you to understand something, that in our game, It is so unusual to have someone not only play in a position at a high level and to play offensively at a high level, but to do so as well as being a high-level performer on the mound. It is just an unusual set of circumstances that occurs. And that's what Jesse did. He set the bar. And I can tell you, once he graduated, that every member of our pitching staff was graded against his level of performance. And I have a suspicion, Coach Markin, that standard is maintained right now. Let me read to you just a few things here. 3-time NCCAA All-American. In 2007, the NCCAA National Player of the Year. The Mid-Central Conference Player of the Year in 2006 and 2007. In 2006, Jesse was a freshman. He was the Player of the Year in our league in 2006. NAIA First Team All-American in 2007. Now, let me tell you what was accomplished during that time. He was 12-1 on the mound with a 1.9 ERA. He batted .399, stole 24 bases, and threw 10 complete games. His first team NAIA All-American, and that was the year he was also National Player of the Year in the NCCA. 35-10 record on the mound with a career ERA of 2.38. It was mentioned earlier today that he leads SAU in career shutouts. He is second all-time in SAU in 48 games started on the mound. Spring Arbor baseball has been going on for about 60 years now. He is 5th all-time in career hits. Again, it tells you the magnitude and the impact that he had as a dual player in our program. In 2008, when we were in the NAIA World Series in Williston, Idaho, he was named to the all-tournament team as a second baseman. So not only was he extraordinary on the mound, but to be able to accomplish that at the highest level, the top 10 teams in the country. He was a 2-time Gold Glove Award winner. I want to make this statement that I have never coached in the 40 years as a college baseball coach, a player who from start to finish in his career had as much high-level performance as Jesse Bachman. I want to repeat that, never in the 40 years that I coached. From the time he walked into our program until he completed it, his level of performance was extraordinary. Legendary basketball coach John Wood defined competitive greatness as be at your best when your best is needed. That is what Jesse exemplified. When the game was on the line, he had a different gear. And those of us who coached him and those of us who played with him observed it every time. It was an extraordinary thing. It's what separated him. I didn't coach that into him. He brought that to the table. It was predictable. You know, one of the things that I think is absolutely one of the greatest compliments a player, an athlete can receive is when he is revered by opposing coaches. And that is the case with Jesse. I still remember a conversation after we were done playing Super Regional at Xavier University over in Chicago, which we had just won, which allowed us to advance to the NAIA World Series. John Morey, who had been a longtime coach at St. Xavier and also Xavier University in Cincinnati, was back coaching as an assistant there. And he stood in the parking lot with me and said, just so you know, I've never seen anybody with as much velocity and command combination as the Bachman kid. I mean, those were the kind of comments that were being made. As good as that is, what made him unique is he didn't seek anything. And the humility of which he had to play the game was so apparent. I think that it exemplified what we were about during that time period with our program. he was the centerpiece. Jesse, you represent and reflect the very, very best in Spring Arbor University athletics and baseball program here. And it is my pleasure to welcome you into this class tonight. So congratulations.
Thank you, Coach. I really wish we had gone alphabetically tonight. I'm not sure I deserve to be in the same class as Randi and Herbert, but I was wondering if you guys just wanted to be friends. That would be all right. Congratulations, you guys. Way more than earned. It's really an honor to be here with you. So, when I was trying to figure out how to start talking tonight, I should have mentioned, Lori, thank you for all that you've done. I can't believe how welcoming everybody has been, and everyone that helped. Thank you very much. Sorry, I meant to mention that at the top. I was trying to figure out how to start this, and I thought, maybe I should tell some funny stories from stuff with teammates. That might be good. So I started going through those stories, and so we'll start here. I thought, maybe I could tell a story when we had to take Colin to the emergency room the night before Super Regionals because he jumped and hit his head while we were having a tennis ball fight in the apartment complex. And then I thought, no, I can't tell that story. That's too much. And so I thought maybe I'll tell the story of when we were bored freshman year when we put our mattresses on the bottom of the village and pushed the couches together and jumped off the balcony onto the mattresses. And then I thought, nobody found out the next day that was a $450 fine if we got caught, so now I can't tell that story. Or maybe I could tell the story of when we had a bunny as a pet in campus housing for a year. And all of those seem like things I shouldn't tell, so I'll start somewhere else. I want to start kind of near the beginning. Growing up, you're going to be shocked by this, my friends used to call us Amish. We didn't have a TV till I turned 14 years old. I see some of you looking at me with shock and it looks like you feel bad or whatever, and you should. But it was a conscious effort by my parents to get us outside, to get us to play with each other, to spend family time. Looking back, it was a tremendous decision that they made. My dad was always available for us to play baseball, always. Didn't care when we broke garage windows throwing the balls against the house, but he was always there. And we knew there were nights when my mom would be gone at work. She worked late nights at the hospital. And if everybody was home, we knew those were the baseball nights. If it was January, it didn't matter. We would push the couches out of the way in the living room, and he would set up a home plate, and we would pitch inside the house. She didn't find out about this till much, much later on. So those are kind of like folklore in our house. But it didn't matter if he had a bad day. It didn't matter if stuff at work was going on. My dad was always available to us. Now, I found out much later in life as I became older and not a self-centered kid that the reason my dad was always available to us was because of my mom. She took care of everything. Meals, the house. We did our chores kind of, but she just, everything behind the scenes you could ever ask anyone to take care of, she took care of it. And I didn't know that when I was 10 years old. Just stuff happened, like there was magic in the house or something. And what I also found out years later is that she spent hours and hours and hours praying for us. And again, back then that didn't really mean a lot to me. Of course, we had great Christian values in our house and all of that, but I didn't really realize the impact that had on our lives until much, much later, that my mom just spent hours praying for us. I work with young kids in my job, and their parents often will come up to me and say, how should I deal with this problem? And I say, well, look, I don't know any better parents than my parents, so here's what they did. There just aren't better people. You'll never find better people. And so thank you for everything. Thank you for driving thousands of miles by the time our 4 years were up to come to baseball games. Thank you for dropping everything. I also have to thank my little sister who got drugged to so many baseball games. I think she hates baseball, probably. But seriously, thank you. I could go on for an hour, but I don't think I have that kind of time. So, one of the things I did want to mention, they made faith a priority in our home. We had opportunities to play travel baseball from when we were very young, and they said, no, no, no. We're going to church on Sunday. We're going to grandma's on Sunday afternoon. We're going to be a family, not a group of people that goes and plays baseball. And we were grumpy about it at the time, but it's another thing that shaped my life. And so, thank you for caring more about us than maybe we even cared about ourselves sometimes. So, take you much further forward. I may look scrawny now, but I was about 115 pounds playing fall baseball in South Bend, Indiana, and the person who was running the league said, "Hey, there's someone over in the stands that wants to talk to you." And I said, "Well, that's very strange," but I walked over there, and there sat Coach Wriggleman, and I didn't know that my life was literally changing at that moment. But it was, and he said, "Hey, I'm from Spring Arbor," and I said, "Spring Harbor?" I didn't actually say that, but I had never heard of Spring Arbor University yet. And so he gave me his card, and he said, "Hey, we'd love to have you up for a visit." And I thought, "Oh, well, that's kind of nice," and went about my day. Went on a couple visits, and then we scheduled a visit to come up here. And, I didn't really think this was a place I would end up. It was, kind of in the middle of nowhere. I think if you drive by here and you don't know how special this place is, it's just a blink and it's gone. And I walked on campus and met with Coach and went to chapel, and Chuck White was speaking, and he talked about baseball. He had his Red Sox on. That was the year the Red Sox came back from a 3-0 deficit, and it was like God said, "Here you go." And we didn't do any other visits after that. Just ended up here. So, I will tell you, I thought this was going to be a really exciting place even on the weekends, because after I decided to come here, Coach had me up for a visit, and I stayed with some wonderful people, and that night was the night of the Malice at the Palace, where the guys went up into the stands in the NBA game, and there was this wild fight, and I was like, wow, every Friday night is like this at Spring Arbor. I've made the right choice. This is going to be amazing. And then you'll see we're jumping off the balcony on a Friday night, not many months after that. So, but it was an incredible start, and it's only got better from there. So what I wanted to do is go chronologically through the 4 years, not because you care about what our baseball team did, and it's going to be very short on the baseball and very much on the people, because that's really what I want to finish talking about tonight. Our freshman year came on campus, and our baseball team didn't have a very good reputation. I'm just going to be honest with you. There were people that told us that they were told they shouldn't talk to us because we were baseball players, and a couple people, especially John Shively, who's brought his baby and is here, it's amazing, began working really hard at changing the culture of our baseball team. And if you want to know where the success that we had on the field came from, it came from Coach and from guys like that changing the way we were focused, and we became a group that was knit together instead of a bunch of individual baseball players. And so to me, that was the highlight of my freshman year. Along with, we've told this story earlier, Tom Compton, our senior pitcher, riding onto a boulder after a game and ruining our chance to go to a Mexican restaurant after the game. He literally drove onto this huge rock that was parked in front of the van and ruined the transmission, and it was a mess. But those are the kind of moments it's hard to forget. But my sophomore year, we had our 38-game winning streak, which is really ridiculous when it comes to baseball. We were runner-up of the World Series. It was a wonderful year, but it was also the year where it came together. I mean, there are moments with the guys that I will never, ever forget from that season. I can tell you, again, hundreds of stories, but it's just a wonderful group of people, and I couldn't be happier to have spent time here. Junior year, I started talking to a girl, and she put up with me continually, and we started dating, and that would be my lovely wife, Emily, who honestly, you guys, you should get to meet her, get to know her. She's a much better half of these two by far. She's an incredible mother to our 2 kids, and I don't know what I would do without her, honestly, and she would probably tell you that that's true, because I need some help. And then senior year was kind of a lost year, except I want to talk about Coach for a while. I wanted to save him for the end. Gets to be 9 o'clock and I'm still doing this, let me know. I don't know that I can even use enough words to describe the impact he had on not only my life, but the life of our teammates. It's the most consistent, kind, incredible person that I've ever had the pleasure of playing baseball with, or for, or knowing, or I'm really out of words to this. I don't even know how to describe how incredible of a man he is. There's a reason he's in the National Baseball Coaches Hall of Fame. Every day, day after day after day after day, he's just chipping away at us. There were guys on the team that I had given up on, like, Coach, why are you still trying to reach them for Jesus? Why are you still like those guys, they don't care. And then years and years after we graduated, this guy's on fire for Jesus. This guy is involved in his church. This guy's doing, guys that you never would have imagined could ever have been reached for Jesus. It was because of him, because every day he was there working on us, caring for us, loving us. I could go on and on. It's unbelievable. And he had that glint in his eyes some days, and that's when we knew things were really going to get going. Like one time, and you had to hang on everything he said because it was often very profound and very important. So we're meeting one day for practicing days. Guys, did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? There's a new sport here at Spring Arbor. We're like, what? A new sport? We get a football team? It's about time. It's so great. And he goes, yeah, they're giving out new scholarships here at the school. What is he talking about? We could all use some more money, but that'd be great. He goes, yeah, they're giving intramural scholarships now. Intramural scholarships? He said, yeah, I saw now head baseball coach Ryan Harkin out playing intramural football, and I realized to myself, they must be giving money now for intramurals. And it was moments like those that, again, it's hard to describe, but everything that he said was either tremendously important or sometimes even hilarious. But Coach, you need to know, you have touched an unbelievable amount of lives. We are eternally thankful for you. I can't imagine spending 4 years anywhere else. It's 4 of the greatest years of my life. I do want to thank my teammates too. I mean, I got John's back there, his wife's holding a baby and decided to come here anyways. A bunch of them got away from their kids, and kids are an incredible blessing, I have 2 of my own, but got a date night basically, and they got stuck here with me. But that's how incredible they are. So you guys, thanks for the memories. You can check the text chain from last night if you want to know how much you mean to me. I want to thank Alex and Chelsea. Alex is my dearest friend from home. They also got rid of their 2 kids to drive all the way up here to be here. And if you want to know the definition of a true friend, Alex is that to me. An incredible person. So why am I blabbering on about all these people? Here's why. As I was reflecting on my time here and pulling into this road has an effect on me. It's just a bunch of buildings to most people. To me, this is my second home. There are so many memories, so many people I love so dearly here. It just has an emotional effect on me. And I was thinking, why is that? What is it about the people here, the people that I've talked to you about in this speech, why are they so important to me? And here's what I came up with, because I know that it's true. Every single one of those people pointed me towards Jesus. Every single one. I'm not here today without all of you. And I can't be more thankful. Some of you, I know you've been behind the scenes to make all this stuff work for years, and I may not even have ever had a conversation with you. but you are also a part of them. And so, while it's an incredible honor to be inducted into this Hall of Fame, and it is an incredible honor, I hope when I get talked about by whoever I come in contact with, that is the first thing that is mentioned, that I helped draw them closer to Jesus. I hope for all of you that that's your goal, because that's really where it's at. That's really what it's all about. And that's why I've blabbered on for what probably has been hours now, thanking all of these wonderful people that have literally changed my life. And so, Ryan, thanks for nominating me and putting up with me for 3 years doing double play drills. I'm not quite sure how you did it. You guys that are current players here, soccer, baseball, whatever it is, I hope you know this is an amazing place. If you'll lean into what this place is doing and what Jesus is doing here, you'll be amazed what you'll see and what can happen. I have more stuff written down, but I think I'm probably at the end. Thank you for all of you to take the time to honor us three. You guys, you're incredible people, seriously, and thank you. I appreciate all of you.
On behalf of Spring Arbor University and the Board of Trustees, I'm pleased to induct Jesse Bachman into the SAU Athletic Hall of Fame. Randy, Herbert, Jesse, thank you. What an incredible evening. Just humbled to be here, to be a part of it. And for enriching my life tonight, as well as everyone else that's had the privilege to be in here and to be a part of it. Randy, can I ask you to stand? And Herbert, would you please stand? And Jesse, would you stand? Can we just show them our love and support and appreciation? I want to ask all of our Hall of Fame members as we conclude this evening, if you'd please just make your way to the front with our newest members. We do want to take a few photos right up here. We'll move the table out of the way and would like to do that. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being a part of this very, very special evening. I'm going to ask Zach Devon, a senior health and exercise science major from Livonia, Michigan, and a member of our baseball team to come up and give the benediction. Zach?
Thank you. It's great to be here tonight. Coach Cunningham and my coach, Katie Skaten, for giving me the honor of being able to speak here today. They wanted to just have me give a couple words about how SAU has positively affected my life. And I'm kind of a special story. I've been to 4 separate institutions, and this is the only one that kept me. I played for 4 separate baseball teams, and this is the only one that kept me. So if that doesn't say anything about the power and the pull of this campus and the people on this campus and the power that Christ has in this place, and I don't really know if you're listening or not. You know, so I just want to thank everybody for allowing me to give the benediction. Just what a special and magical moment. You know, I'm not going to say anything much more profound than what those 3 amazing people were able to say. So let's all bow our heads and give glory to the one who created us. Our most gracious and heavenly Father, we just come before you today humbly just to raise our hands in thanksgiving, and we are so thankful for these 3 wonderful athletes that were able to just show the power that you're able to put into people and into athletics, and able to show with your heavenly hands just how talented you can make all of us in all the endeavors of our life. And we're just so incredibly thankful and humbled that you're able to show your majesty through all these people. And we just like to come together today just in front of you, hands raised, eyes closed, humbled by the story that you were able to create through these three wonderful individuals. So we thank you tonight, Lord Jesus. We know that you're in this room. You say that where two are gathered in your name, you will surely be there. So how much more powerful is your presence right now, Lord Jesus. We love you. We praise you in your heavenly and holy name. Amen. Thank you.
Stick around as long as you would like. Safe travels. God bless. Hall of Fame members, if you make your way up, please.